Statistics have shown that roughly 70 to 75% of the notices that people get are wrong. But many people just, IRS says I owe $3,000, I'm going to write a check because I don't want them in my hair.
Hello, I'm Michelle Voskel. I'm here today with John Neal, founder of the Neal Group in Greenfield, Wisconsin. So, do you owe back taxes? So right now, the IRS is using a lot more artificial intelligence to find filers that are deserving of notices. So, if you owe back taxes, here's what not to do. John, what's the biggest mistake people make when they owe back taxes?
The biggest mistake people make is ignoring the notice. We get people that come in and they have a stack of notices. Some of them are certified mail and they're all unopened. And then they wonder why their bank account got wiped out or their wages got levied.
So why is ignoring those letters the most dangerous option?
Many times when you ignore the notice, you lose all of your rights of appeal, of protesting the assessment. It becomes a final assessment and there's nothing that you can do about it.
Well, and the penalties and the interest grow rapidly,
right,
especially if you just throw the notices on the pile.
Correct.
What should someone avoid saying or doing when they realize they can't pay?
In all honesty, I would avoid contacting the IRS myself. If you talk to the IRS, they can force you to say things that you didn't want to say. They can, I mean, in essence, most people get scared talking to the IRS. I've had some clients who have tried to negotiate by themselves and they end up in a panic because the IRS said you can pay us $5,000 a month and they can only afford $300 a month.
So your advice is don't call the IRS directly, call a tax professional and have them help you.
Correct.
Got it. When we get someone here in the office that has tax debt, what's the first thing we help them understand?
The first thing that I always tell people is that you're not going to jail. Most people think, oh my gosh, I owe the IRS, they're going to send me to jail. And I tell them, no, all they want is your money. They aren't going to take your house. They aren't going to levy your bank account as long as there's some communication between them and the IRS where we act as a buffer.
Right. The other thing is just to remind them they're not alone in this situation. There are a lot of people out there that get notices and owe back taxes.
Right.
So,
I think the other thing is that we tell them life happens and you're here now, let's get it taken care of.
right. And our goal at the Neal Group is actually to bring calm and clarity to the situation so people do not panic and have nightmares and get less sleep.
Right.
So is there anything else, John, that you want to talk about with owing back taxes?
When you get a notice from the IRS, you may not know what it says, but statistics have shown that roughly 70 to 75% of the notices that people get are wrong. But many people just, IRS says I owe $3,000, I'm going to write a check because I don't want them in my hair. And then they come to us after that, and it's much harder to get the money back from the IRS than to tell them we don't owe you in the first place.
Great. So what I would suggest is come see the Neal Group. We can help you, especially if you are receiving notices from the IRS.